Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, apparently, there's a new Star Wars game, and that's news to me. So I thought we'd have a look at it, and because I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the internet, I've tried to avoid anything to spoil what the game's going to be about. And I've already seen people making comments like, oh, this highly anticipated game, and I was like, you mean like, in the same area of time that I discovered that this game was coming out, that it's become the highly anticipated game, right? Like, this hasn't been something that's been in the works for a while and everyone's pretty much known about it except me, right? Like, am I the only one that's been left in the dark? Please tell me that's not the case. Because if it's not, then that's actually kind of pretty cool that in today's age of 2023, a video game can still just kind of pop out of nowhere. So let's take a look at Jedi Outlaws.
These are dangerous times. At least, that's what I hear. The Empire? They're everywhere.
Cinematography for
the
the
world
cutscenes is really good.
Belongs to the syndicates. If I want to survive, I have to play their game.
What the fuck is that?
Looks like I'm all in.
Uh-oh.
She's in here somewhere.
On second thought, I'm out.
Oh, get him!
There she is.
I've been held back my whole life.
I'll tell you right now, the speeder bike she's going on is faster than the speeder bikes that that gang of hoodlums were riding in the
Wherever
Book of
that
Boba
takes
Fett
me.
show. I'm just gonna say that.
I'm here to offer you a way out, okay?
Get off my ship, Jalen.
Give me a chance. You're gonna have to trust me. It'll be dangerous, risky. But if you pull this off, you'll never look over your shoulder again.
The underworld shows no mercy. But it's a big galaxy out there, and I'm gonna risk it all.
God, cinematography in this is really nice. Okay. So, first thing first, I thought I would take note of right away before we go over the trailer and just talk about some of the things that I noticed. I think the biggest thing that's rather glaring that I'm sure a certain portion of the fan base is going to take note of and absolutely shit their pants about. It would look as though Star Wars Outlaws is going to have a female protagonist. And I know that's a little premature right now, but tell me I'm wrong. And for anyone that actually does have that issue, never mind the fact that every previous game Star Wars has ever made has featured a dominantly white male characters, or at least a customizable option where you can switch between the genders and the races of the character. Typically, I mean, the only other game I can think of that they've made that features a dominantly female protagonist is one of the Battlefront games, which came out a number of years ago now. I digress. If you're going to get your nuts in a wad that a new Star Wars game has a female protagonist about it, just go ahead and turn in your man card, because that's pretty fucking lame. And earlier when I bumped into the announcement of this game, I actually saw comments stating that someone thought that her character seemed rather arrogant to her. And it's like, how you gauge that in just this trailer alone, right? But okay, let's just say that is the case. What we see in this trailer, it is rather obvious that this is the start of her story, almost as if her character is someone who is presented as rather arrogant, at this point in time, chances are she might become less in the future. Like have like a humbling moment and maybe learn something. It's that weird thing that's character development, that thing, you know. But going back to highlight some of the other things in the trailer that I saw that I was taking note of, we see a shot of Han Solo frozen in carbonite. So this does seem to take place somewhere a little after the area of Empire Strikes Back. This one clip I couldn't really tell just because of how blurry it is, and I think it's intentional because of like the smoke. But this particular fellow here, I don't know why, it just sort of has this Knights of Ren sort of vibe I'm picking up off it. I could be wrong, but you know, it could just be another bounty hunter doing bounty hunter things, cutting a dude's head off for fun. I'll acknowledge that. Yeah. Then there's this little guy who's like a Star Wars-ified Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. I like this little guy. I want one of those. I want one of those to carry around in my pocket. Just, yeah. He's a cool looking dude. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be the next Porg, I think. Next Porg, next Ewok, all the cutesy stuff. They got to put it in Star Wars in somewhere. One of the things I'll definitely say I'm concerned about, just from the style and the way things are kind of featured in this trailer. I'll look at some gameplay footage in a minute, but this definitely has the feeling and the vibes of Jedi Survivor. And I don't really want this game to just be another Jedi Survivor game that's just like, you know, female edition. I mean, it's not because it's female edition that I have an issue. It's just repetitive gameplay. I don't want it to just be where they've just swapped out a character. You're given the same mechanics and you're just thrown into the same general world. Nothing really new provided. Like, if I want to play a game with the same mechanics, I will just go and replay Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor. So I'm hoping they don't do that. I have heard that this is going to be a free roam game. This is probably like one of the first Star Wars free roam games that they've made for like all the consoles, I think, since the Old Republic video game. But that I think was more for like the PC, and I think it was for the Xbox. I can't remember. But if it is a free roam game, the only thing I really have to say is, God damn it, Disney. How do you expect me to prove to my audience that I'm not a complete simp for you guys when you keep giving me what I freaking want? Well, I guess that's not true. I mean, you did cancel a couple of movies I was looking forward to. And you did finally close down the Galaxy Cruise, which I'm going to talk about in a later video because I think there's something I can add to that conversation. But I'm a huge free roam guy, and I really appreciated in Jedi Survivor where you had kind of that free roamy element to it, though I do think it's a little bit limited and it's not like the full aspect of it's not the full version of what I would see as a fully free roam game. You definitely have free direction on where you can go, where you want to go and how you do things. But I did talk about all those things in my review of Jedi Survivor. I'm hoping that this takes that extra step and really fleshes out the whole free roam area where you're actually able to explore things to the fullest degree of like what you would expect from like a Bethesda game or Assassin's Creed, because I think this is being developed by Ubisoft, the Assassin's Creed company. You know what I'm talking about. The only other thing I took of serious note of that I really appreciated seeing in this shot here and this other shot later, they have a Confederate battle droid commando as apparently a character that's going to be maybe following you around, partnering up with you in certain areas of the game possibly, and seeing one on your side for once that's not trying to kill the heroes in the story, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure. Please tell me he's a witty asshole. But let's have a look at some of the gameplay, see how things go. Okay, so right away I can tell you a little bit of my suspicion is kind of being confirmed. What I've seen so far, there definitely seems to be that kind of puzzle solving aspect that is very reminiscent of Jedi Survivor, and which I'm okay with there being puzzle solving elements. I just have to reiterate, I'm a little worried that this is just going to be just a character swap of Jedi Survivor, and I don't necessarily want to see that. I want to see something that goes a different direction, you know? I want to see different gameplay mechanics, different fighting styles. I don't know if this character is going to show to be force sensitive at any point. Anything's possible, but I want this to be its own unique character with their own unique set of skills that explores this open world in a way that we couldn't do necessarily with Cal Kestis. But let's keep going. Okay, so this actually is a good thing. The shooting mechanics that they're showing for this game seem to be a lot more fleshed out than in Jedi Survivor, where it was kind of like, you know, you press the button and it kind of like automatically shot, or you didn't have as much control of the blaster fire as it's showing in this game. So I definitely like seeing that. That's a good sign. Just having a look at the open world that you're going to be getting to do. So I do like what I'm seeing with the speeder mechanics, because that's definitely something that we didn't really get with Jedi Survivor. And the way things are set up, where there's like enemies stationed in the distance, and I'm going to see if I'm pretty. Can you shoot at them? No. Oh, okay, so it's just a heads-up display kind of thing. Ooh. Oh, okay. I actually like that a lot. So what they seem to be adding into this is kind of like a Red Dead Redemption like time slowing mechanic for certain areas when you're playing the game. I really enjoy doing stuff like that. So getting the ability to do that, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So already I'm being put at ease, and with the world that I'm seeing right now, it definitely feels like it's going to be a lot more open. I haven't gotten to see a lot of where you're able to go, but when I think of Jedi Survivor and the world I was able to travel, there was definitely some like areas where you could definitely just see the paths ahead of you. Like, for as big of an area as you're able to explore in that game, you definitely know where you're going at all times, and in this game, from what I can see so far, it definitely looks like you can kind of go off the beaten path a little bit, and I like seeing that. I think what it might actually be is have that Red Dead Redemption open world aspect, but that might be a little bit disappointing depending on how things go, because that just means that's a lot of open area it's really there for the visuals, but there's nothing really to do. And that's another thing that I hope this game avoids. I don't want there to be, you know, when it comes to open world games, I want the open world to have a lot of stuff and a lot of things to see and a lot of things to do in just virtually every area of the map. With games like Red Dead Redemption, yes, you have all this room to explore and things to see, but I don't recall anything specifically that you had to do out in the desert. I mean, sometimes you had these randomly generated things that you would do out there, but there's nothing specifically to do to keep bringing you out to those locations. Like, take Skyrim or Fallout, for example. Those are games with an open world, and virtually the entirety of the map has something to do and buildings to explore, things like that. And the perfect criticism I could make about this is like with Fallout 4, where, you know, you have these areas that you're able to explore, and then there's that giant chunk of the map that you never go into because there's nothing out there and there's nothing to do. Sure, you might be able to travel out there. You might travel out there once and just see what's out there, and you might discover like some hidden details that are just placed out there. But in terms of what would ever bring you back out there, there's nothing. And I'm a little suspicious that is what we might see in this game. Though I am impressed with the size of the cities, because the city that I'm seeing right now is definitely bigger than we've seen in Jedi Survivor. But that won't exactly mean a lot if you can't really interact with most of those buildings. Okay. How did I call that he was going to be an asshole?
What? Be careful. Doc is a broker, not a friend. She can't be trusted.
Ooh! Dialogue choices, yes! See, that is something that I specifically referenced in the Jedi Survivor game, is where you didn't really have dialogue choices, and that is something I definitely want for there to be in this game. A little bit direction on where your character goes. And I'm really excited to see that being an element. Yes! Thank you, game! Yeah, the ship is very reminiscent of Jedi Survivor's The Mantis. Yeah. Same kind of structure and layout. And that's some of the things that I'm not that excited to see. I hope maybe you can like switch out the ships. That would definitely be something cool. Oh! And you can pilot the ship. This game is striking all the right chords with me. Man, you're going for a while. Are you going into... You are! Whoa, okay. No! So you can go from off-planet to outer space, and it looks to me like you can actually explore a bit of the outer space. Ooh! Oh my god, please. Oh, yes. Come on. Come on. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, you can definitely kind of... You can definitely explore parts of the outer space area. That is super cool. Engage in dogfights. Like, this is going to be a game I'm definitely going to be playing for a really, really long time. That is awesome. I don't think I need to see any more. I'm definitely on board. The game has struck all the right nerves. I had a few concerns about it, but I think what we're going to be getting, it outweighs the worries that I have. So I'd love to know what you guys think. If you're excited for this game, let me know, and I hope to see you in the next video. See ya. Bye. Oh my god. I'm gonna have such a big Star Wars collection after this.